I'm on Devlog 3 and I'm already tired of this. So I don't know what that spells for the future, but welcome to Devlog 3 of the Blickel, the new Blickel game. I'll get into more specifics later because I have been doing some planning, but as for what I want to share with the world right now in the Devlog series is that this week, even though I feel not great, in front of us right now we have I hate brain fog. In front of us right now we have the basically the tile set that I was working on last week, and if I find it, yep, this was also the actual ground tiles themselves. What I want to start working on is more of the individual levels themselves. Here, wait. Yeah, I like to do a lot of my planning on pen and paper and a notebook. Problem is that's not very useful for when I want to share it in a devlog, especially when I didn't take pictures of it beforehand. So yeah, it's I did a bunch of doodles for kind of the idea, because the main idea for this game is that you're ascending up this dark tower, and so I need to start planning out visually the design of those different stages. Another interesting thing is that when I was working on the project, and I shared the progress with my teammate, we basically came to the conclusion that what would be really cool is if we, as the game went on, the color palette slowly got more and more dark and twisted, because as the game goes on, the further into the dark tower you get. So outside's gonna be all bright and colorful, and so once again, last week was a complete waste of time. As of now, I'm going to be working on the next main tile set, which is kind of a general castle tile set. So on my second micro screen, I've got some reference material to go off, and we're going to begin working on that. So time for a new A-Sprite file. The way most tile sets work is that you start off with the basic, just blah. The way you start off with most tile sets is that you kind of start off with the basic square, or the actual block itself, and then you kind of I'm tired. This is gonna be a rough video. One thing that would be nice to know is that, because I know that A-Sprite recently got a big kind of upgrade, in that their A-Sprite now has the ability to use, it was you can use tile sets now and make custom tile sets, and it's super easy to do that. Unfortunately for me, I don't really know much about how to do that, so I'm just gonna have to stick to making manual tiles. Okay, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll do. Got a very basic dungeon-esque tile. I'll probably look at other references in the future. Once again, you can't really see the reference. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at. Probably also look at more NES and Game Boy references, because those will have more of the limited color palette that I'm going for. But for the time being, I've got other stuff I've got to worry about. First things first, let's see how well this tile actually tiles. Okay, cool. So we've got the rough idea here. I can even like go a step further. I got completely distracted by my work, which I guess is a good thing because it means I'm like focused, but at the same time, I'm supposed to be commentating over my work so that I can share my thought processes. But when there's no thoughts, we start having problems. That should be good for like a baseline for the tile sets. Let's start working on our background. Oh, what was I talking about earlier? I was talking something about like music earlier. Oh, right. Listening to music on like my headphones. So now I'll still have to edit it, but on the bright side, you can't hear what I'm listening to. Also means I can listen to copyrighted music and not have to worry about copyright strikes. Would now be a good time to learn about how the tile map works in Sprite? Screw it. So it is kind of like a draw. So what happens if I like go into here? So I have like my super dark color. Let's say auto, modify and reuse existing tiles. What if I just do this? Ah! So this is what I wanted. This works for now. I mean, gives the right atmosphere I want. All I need now is another tile for, like, a window. This tile set feature is fun. I'm glad I learned it. This is, like, way easier to mess around with. Also, being able to hold control and being able to see all of the tiles is, like, really kind of cool, because it's like, oh, I know what's used where. Makes me feel all powerful inside. Like a genius mastermind. I want to be done. I realize, oh, this black is, like, really jarring. I guess, then again, I don't really need to worry about color palettes right now. If each world is gonna have, or each like level is gonna have like its own like color palettes, then in that case, I don't have to worry about like having a universal color palette for everything. I just need to make sure every world looks good with the specific colors I have chosen for that like tile map selection. Hold on, I'm gonna go do some reading. Ah, Wikipedia, my best friend. Oh wait, I think I found it. Game Boy Color. Presents up to 56 colors without the use of special programming. In the full 32,000 colors. 32 are for backgrounds. Plus 8 hardware sprite palettes with 3 colors plus transparent. Okay, what does that mean in context for... I need to do some thinking. For my hypothetical Game Boy palette, I have 32 background colors. With my hypothetical like palette, I have so for the game I can hypothetically at a time have 32 background colors. Because I can swap out colors in the Game Boy, I can theoretically have whatever like background. I can have basically almost like 2 tile sets. I have like my not tile sets, color palettes. Color palettes for the Game Boy for like the actual characters on the screen and all the like sprite image stuff, and I have to just be like intelligent on like how I like simulate those palettes, even though I don't really technically have to because it's a modern game using modern software and I'm just like emulating it. I'm dumb. I don't know why I'm complicating this so much. I just need to make it look pretty. Like that's all that I care about, is just making sure that this game looks pretty. I just looked over and I look like a goddamn like gremlin, like inched over, and I'm like, ugh. I feel like this is a good like tile set in terms of like minimum viable product in terms of like atmosphere. I've got like the right like philosophy down. Now I need to just keep continuing on what I have been doing. So like I need to work more on like, okay, I need to get like HUD elements in, and now I need to start like making mock-ups with like actual like monsters in it, and like start like getting those ideas. And once I have all of that, I can start like figuring out the palettes and start getting them in the game. Oh, by the way, there's been no progress on the game, like the engine, at all. So that is going to be all for today's video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. All of those would be greatly appreciated and help with sharing this, getting this game out. Feel free to watch any of my other videos and give me that sweet, sweet YouTube click-through rate. Thank you all for watching. Have a great and wonderful day.